Right, I'm just going to isolate this part here, and I'm going to build a plane over here using AutoGrid. There we go. This just gives me an area to build on, and then when I'm actually building the surround wrist, it'll be a bit easier for me. Okay, what I'm going to do over here now is I'm going to build a piece using a cylinder first. Now this is quite important. Pull out the cylinder to the size that I require, like so, and I'm going to have its radius, in my case, 6. In your case, might not be 6. So, you know, ponder it carefully. Convert to edible poly, and move it out of the way. Now over here, I'm going to make a sphere with a radius of 6. Okay, and 22 segments, and I'm going to align it with this, like so. I'll have to just rotate it a little bit to get it to fit. I'll use angle snap for that. Actually, I don't need to even rotate it to fit now. Come to think of it, it'll be fine the way it is. Okay, next I'm going to hemisphere it. Take this away. 0.5 on the hemisphere, not 0.05. Convert to edible poly. Now I'm going to make 2 of these fellows here. So first, I'm going to take out these inside edges. I don't think it's going to let me ring them this time, unfortunately. So what I'll do is I'll select this one, loop, control, select by polygon, and then shrink, and then delete. There we go. Makes things a tiny bit easier for me. Next, take this, put it all the way into here. So it just intersects on the outside by the merest smidgen, like so. Then I'm going to drag this one over here and rename it PF for power fist, elbow, because that's where it is, minor piston end, because that's what it is. Okay, next, if I go over here and delete these, like so. Now bearing in mind that if I'm doing this, I'm going to have to do the same over here, unless I want to mirror it a few times, which I can do as well. In fact, I'll probably just mirror it. So let's just make one for the moment. You know how to mirror this stuff, so it's not going to kill you. Okay, next. I'm going to attach this part, but I'm going to use element like this, and I'm going to flip so it's inside out. Then I can either select here and here and bridge, which as you see creates a catastrophe, or just, you know, do a couple of these using the interactive bridging tool. I mean, you can go all the way around if you really want to, but depends how much time you've got to kill and how sick you are of, you know, doing this kind of thing. I'm going to border this. There we go, and then cap it. And as you see, it's all worked all nicely. And then I can just slide this, which is our end piece, into the right place, like so. It's just that it overlaps slightly. And this means that if we move it around, it's got this lovely ball joint to go out in. Okay, now we need to logically be very wary. So I'm going to cap this, because if we rotate it and we have a cylinder coming out, we can't rotate it. It'll just sit in there like a pin in a hole. So what we have to do is bring it straight in, straight away. Not for long, just for a little bit. There, like that. And that'll give us some rotation on this that we wouldn't otherwise have. Now I can bring this forward to here, and up and out. And then bring this down here. In. It's amazing how long you can spend on the evolution of an idea, a mechanism and the way it works. But it's quite good fun, so there we go. That part goes in there, and then if I grab this, grab this polygon, shift and drag it all the way down here, and this is going to be our PF elbow. Actually no, this is going to be our wrist, minor piston 01. Okay, so now we have our two objects, there and there. And what I'll do is I'll just flip this, so it's the right way around again. Okay. And then just bring it back like that. And I'm going to effect pivot only center to object for the moment. I'm going to bring my pivot right the way down later on. We'll do it this way for the moment. And then we get it going in here, which is what I wanted. Jump out there. Okay, next. What I'm going to do is basically expand this down a bit further. So, to about there. And then I can start making the wrist mounts for the pistons. So let's just cap that. Go straight into a bevel. Like so. Okay, now we've got the issue that we have to create the mounting plate for this. So, what I'm going to do is probably get rid of this plane again for the moment. That was only there really for my visual reference. And I'm going to create a sphere, which I shall drag out from here. Give it about a 6.4. There we go. And I'm going to align the entire piece to this. There we are. And then bring it back to about there. Go to my top viewport. Right. There's where I'm going to have it. Now what I need to do is affect the hemisphere on it to about 0.5. Just click OK. Convert editable poly. Sorry if I'm zooming around a bit. I'm kind of thinking on my feet. When I think on my feet, I tend to like to concentrate a bit on what I'm doing. Okay, next. Just looking at this. I need to make a copy of it once I've taken out the inside. Quick loop. Control select by polygon. Shrink. Delete. Okay, and make a copy of it. And then flip the copy. Take our original version, which wasn't flipped, and attach the piston to it, not the other way around. Take out that part. And what we're going to do now is a simple bridging operation between here and here, which as you see fits incredibly well. Now what I can do is get rid of this edge because I don't like it anyway. And then it's just a case of getting rid of the verts. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go into this do a connect, and slide our connect down a bit, like that. Just do about there. Then another one. Just a different way of doing what I did earlier, basically. Extrude by local normal. Whee! There we go. Bring that in, and then we've got the rotation on this pivot as well, which isn't then going to break stuff. And I'm going to bring in this edge here. Use the scale tool just a little bit. There we go. We need that lip, otherwise it's going to intersect, you see. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Right, now what I need to do, you see, is go back to this piece and do some duplication on it a bit. So let's exit isolation mode. And I'll isolate this piece on its own. Now I can either rebuild it all manually, or, if I don't feel like being incredibly stupid, I can do it this way. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use symmetry. Find the correct axis. And move this along a bit. There we go. Next I'm going to stick an edit poly on top of it. And then on the edit poly I'm going to stick some symmetry. And let's see. Stick on the y-axis like that. Drop into perspective and have a quick look at it. There, that'll do. That's much better. Convert to editable polygon. We don't need to do any welds because it doesn't actually have any. So I'll just cap those two. And any other holes that may have been open at the time. So I think I actually missed one earlier. Okay. Exit isolation mode. Certainly starting to get there, aren't we? Now let's select all the parts that make up this little beast so far. Isolate it. And now we can start moving things around a bit. Woo. And this will automatically increment the name on the pieces as we move them along. If you're not sure if you're getting them in the right hole, you can always do it in the front viewport. That will help you line it up a little bit. Okay. And then down. You can instance them if you prefer, but I'm copying them. There we go. Trying to get them in the right position. Which is never as easy as it seems. Ever. Okay. A bit more to the right, I think. And then this one. Lining things up by eye, what joy. However, as you see, we now have these fellows with our pistons all ready to be mounted into wherever they need to be mounted. Okay, that's good. So with our 4 basic minor pistons created, in the next stage we can start kind of wiring them up where we need them and make it look a lot better.